Before we start cooking, I just wanted to announce that I'm doing a massive 50% off sale when you buy both of my ebooks, Versatile Vegan and Plant Kitchen Comforts. These ebooks are filled with easy, healthy, delicious vegan recipes that are going to help you stay vegan in 2024. Thousands of you have loved and used these ebooks, and I know that it will help you with your vegan journey. Use the code VEGAN2024 in the link down below to get 50% off when you buy both of my ebooks, and let's get cooking. My word. Comfort food is so important in your life. We all love eating, we all love food, so why not make that food delicious and comforting? And if you tried Veganuary, if you're trying to eat more vegan food for 2024, these are the recipes that are going to keep you vegan this year. They're going to encourage you to continue to have vegan meals week on week, and they're gonna remind you how delicious food can be. When it comes to vegan food, it doesn't need to be about restriction. And with recipes like this, my aim is to change that narrative. Vegan food is about abundance, adding things into your diet, trying new things, getting creative, and exploring a whole new world of food. So let me know if you're gonna try these recipes. They're all from my cookbook, Make It Vegan, which is available now. You can buy it in the link down below from Waterstones, Amazon. You can request it at your local bookshop. Thank you to everyone who's already got themselves a copy. I'll leave some reviews here because you're loving it, it seems. So without further ado, we're starting with my dirty fries. These dirty fries are something that me and Al make all the time when we're craving that comfort at the weekend, especially because you have a bit more time. This has got a mushroom and walnut meat in it, which is a really great alternative to meat and also to vegan meat alternatives that you buy in the shop. If you want to make something from scratch that's got loads of nutrients, mushrooms and walnuts are obviously so good for you. And it's got a nice topping with some salsa, some guacamole, some vegan cheese. And it's just a 10 out of 10 meal. So let's get cooking. I'm so excited to eat this. Oh my gosh. I feel like I say that every time, but it's true. We'll start by preparing our potatoes, of course, and I'm going to share with you how to make the perfect chips. These are Maris Piper potatoes. King Edward also work well. You want a potato that is large. You want them to be soft when they're cooked, so Maris Piper is a really good one. You don't have to peel them. I usually don't. I just give them a nice scrub. I do like the skin, but if you prefer without, then by all means peel your potatoes. Also opt for ones that are this sort of shape, this large shape, so that you can get some really good chips out of them. And you can cut them how you like. This is how I like to cook them, but you can do wedges. I'm gonna cut off the bad bits. I wanna go for some really nice chunky chips because that's how I enjoy them. Just roughly chop them into nice big chunky chips, but you can also put them into wedges. Do it how you prefer. Look at this funny potato. If you genuinely have never made chips before, then this is how you want to chop them. So chop your potato in half lengthways. And with this one, just slice downwards in a nice chunky shape. The two side pieces, they can remain like that, or you can chop them to be smaller. And then your middle ones, you can make into smaller chips. So you've got these nice shapes. And you can also chop out any funny bits. Oh, those are some nice big ones. The key to fluffy potatoes is parboiling them, so add them to a large saucepan and cover these with water. Season with salt and then parboil for 5 minutes. Meanwhile, we're going to prep our baking trays with oil. So pop your fan oven on to 200 degrees Celsius and add a thin layer of vegetable oil to your baking tray. My oil is rapeseed oil, so it looks very yellow. It's cold pressed rapeseed oil, but use whatever vegetable oil. I'm also doing 2 baking trays because they're small. And preheat these in your oven, kind of like you would roast potatoes. Once they've parboiled for 5 minutes, I can drain them in a colander. Fluff them up a little. Be careful though, because they're thin potatoes. They're not gonna toss and turn like roast potatoes will. And then leave those to steam for 5 minutes. Grab your baking trays from the oven. Tip your potatoes into the oil. Just be careful because it's hot. And now we can season them. I'm gonna use a sprinkle of chili flakes, around a teaspoon of paprika, and some salt and pepper. And then you can turn your potatoes gently with a spatula to coat everything in the oil and the seasoning. Don't worry if they break apart. It really does add to the deliciousness of it, because the best bits are those broken, crispy pieces. Roast your chips in the oven for half an hour, turning midway until they're golden brown and crispy. Now our chips are cooking, we can prepare the toppings for our dirty fries, starting with walnut meat. So in a food processor, add 100 grams or a cup of walnut halves, 250 grams of mushrooms, I'd recommend chestnut, roughly chopped, a tablespoon of dark soy sauce, tablespoon of liquid smoke, and if you don't have liquid smoke, use barbecue sauce, 3 garlic cloves, half of a red onion roughly chopped, 1/4 to 1 teaspoon of chili powder, depending on how spicy you like it, a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of dried oregano, and season. We'll blitz this in bursts until it combines to form a mince-like texture. Whenever I blitz anything, I always like to do a little scrape down the sides, just to make sure we've got everything. Looks pretty good to me. So now in a large frying pan, we'll add some olive oil, and then fry your walnut meat for about 5 to 10 minutes until it crisps up. Now this is looking glorious. Don't be afraid to let it like crisp up on the bottom and burn. It'll all add to that smoky, meaty taste. You can see how it's like dehydrated a lot, so that the mushrooms have reduced. So it's been 15 minutes, so I can give my chips a quick turn. And they can go back in the oven. Now we can prepare our salsa and guacamole for topping. For your salsa, add 2 to 3 large tomatoes finely chopped, along with 1/4 to half of a finely chopped red onion, half of a red chili, and a handful of chopped coriander. Oh, this bowl's way too small. Along with the juice of a lime, and then season and mix this all together. Honestly, fresh salsa and fresh guacamole does something to my brain. There's just nothing like it. The smell of it, the taste of it, I could eat it by the bucket load. Someone please, please take me to Mexico. Oh my gosh, just I wish you could smell this, these flavors. Now we can pour it in our pretty bowl. For a quick guacamole, mash together avocado, with a handful of chopped coriander, salt and pepper, and the zest and juice of a lime. And mix this all together and dream that you are smelling this and about to eat this, because just like the salsa, this does something to my senses. Guacamole, I could eat it by the bucket load. So our chips are gorgeous and ready. So I'm going to combine them together in one tray. Look at this, perfect chip. I do love that rapeseed oil because it adds a gorgeous colour to your chips as well. And then if you have broken pieces, they become these amazingly crispy chips. So you want to leave those broken bits in there, because I think you can buy a bag of them in a fish and chip shop. They're worth something. Also the skin, I just think having the skin on is amazing. And now the chips are ready, we're going to layer up the walnut meat on top, which looks perfectly beefy. And you can use as much or as little walnut meat as you like. And then some delicious vegan cheese. This is Violife Epic Mature. I like this because it melts really, really well. And then this can go back in the oven for 5 minutes to let the cheese melt and the walnut meat to heat up. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to dig into these. So now we've got our amazing dirty fries out of the oven. You can put some dollops of salsa. And guacamole. And then the way we like to eat it is to just dig right in. Hopefully we're all used to my laundry and washing up being in the background. Recipes like this is what makes me stay vegan. Because realistically, when you go vegan, you're not going to be eating cheese and meat or eggs. So you're going to need different versions of those and to make them delicious. This walnut meat tastes seriously delicious. That vegan cheese on top, all of the paprika, the smokiness, the chili, the guacamole, the lemon, all of those flavors come together to just melt your mouth. Like, I'm literally salivating because I've just had a bite. And this is the sort of thing, do not deprive yourself of these delicious foods just because you've gone vegan. I think that's the mistake that so many people make. Oh my gosh, and I could talk about it all day. Number one, you don't have to be like a junk food vegan where you just eat the stuff from the supermarket and you never cook from scratch. Nor do you have to be someone who's just eating salads and tofu and quinoa and broccoli all day long. You can eat delicious, delicious comfort food, burgers, chips, brownies, curries, and all of the yummy things that make you enjoy life and make you nourish your body and just savor food. Like, what a wonderful thing that this is to make for you and your friends. Have a movie and just enjoy life through food and sharing. I think that they would all absolutely love it. Bye. One more bite. This is the ultimate comfort food. Biscoff Brownies from my cookbook, Make It Vegan. I'm a brownie obsessed person. Growing up, it was the thing that I would bake all the time because it's the sort of thing you can easily make from stuff you've got in the cupboard. So as a child, on an evening when I fancied chocolate, I'd always make brownies for my friends, for my family. And this is a variation on that recipe from when I grew up. I've added Biscoff spread or lotus spread because they are accidentally vegan. It's such a fantastic thing that they're accidentally vegan because it really makes this recipe so delicious. You've got the spread on top, the Biscoff biscuits on top and in the brownie mixture. And the alternative for egg is chia egg, which is a fantastic substitute for eggs. And it adds an extra little boost of nutrition in there because chia seeds are so good for you. They're full of healthy fats and protein, and it's just like a nice little addition in your brownies. So I'm excited to bake. To make your chia egg, you need a 1:3 ratio chia to water. So 3 tablespoons of chia seeds, 9 tablespoons of water. Mix this together, and then we're gonna set in the refrigerator until it becomes a gel-like texture for around 15 minutes. Over a saucepan of boiling water, we can now melt our 200 grams of dark chocolate, at least 70% dark chocolate, and 115 grams of vegan butter. I'm using stork. And then set your melted chocolate aside and let it cool. 200 grams of light brown soft sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and mix in our melted chocolate butter mixture. And whisk this together. This is what our chia eggs come out like, a nice jelly consistency. You want them to be nice and thick. Give them a little stir, and we whisk in 1/3 of the chia eggs at a time. These are our key binding ingredient. Fold in 100 grams of plain all-purpose flour and 25 grams of cocoa powder. And finally fold in 90 grams of dark chocolate chips and most of 150 grams of Lotus Biscoff biscuits, saving a little bit for the topping. And fold it all into your brownie mixture. Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering. Pour your mixture into an 8x8 lined baking tray. And now we're going to use our Biscoff spread and put dollops all over the topping. I'm going to use around half a jar, which is 200 grams. And swirl this around a little bit. And finally add your extra Biscoff biscuits for topping. Now we're going to bake this in a preheated fan oven at 180 degrees Celsius to 30 to 35 minutes until the brownie comes away at the edges. Oh my gosh, whoa, they nearly went flying. Look at these. Can YouTube please invent smell-o-vision? Because it needs to be a thing. Every time I make stuff, I'm like, I wish you could smell it. Because it's part of the experience, right? Let's enjoy one of these. I've already had one. I couldn't resist, I had to break it open for the video and I just had to eat it, didn't I? Let's go for this one. So you can cook them for longer if you prefer like a more cooked brownie. I quite like brownies that are dense and have that gooey kind of undercooked taste, kind of like with cookies. With cookies, you can cook them for longer so that they're harder and more cooked. And you can do the same with brownies. So go for the 35 minutes, and if you want them a bit more cooked, or even closer to 40 minutes, you can just like monitor them by the minute basically and go with the texture you love. But I personally, I don't love a brownie that's just like cold and hard, but I love a brownie that is fluffy and then dense on the bottom. And then, oh my gosh, the Biscoff spread on top. It is the perfect brownie texture, I swear to you. And then it's got the crispy edge. My word. And if this doesn't keep you vegan, I don't know what will. If you were to ask me what a comfort food is for me, I would say curry, because I love curry so much. If you're British, you probably do too. We love Indian food, we love Indian curries, and that was why it was essential in my cookbook to have a no butter, no chicken curry. This is creamy, it is full of flavour, and it is your classic dish that you're going to enjoy. If you have gone vegan this year, if you tried out Veganuary, or you just want to try and keep eating vegan food regularly in your diet, this is one that's going to keep you going because it's just so delicious. You can use tofu for this if you enjoy tofu. You can use a meat alternative like this isn't chicken, it's upside down. I'd recommend this one, it's really, really fab. It's so delicious and it tastes like chicken. And you can use the seitan recipe from my cookbook. I've got a recipe for sticky seitan ribs. This is like a meat alternative you can make from scratch at home with vital wheat gluten, which you can buy online. And it's essentially the glutinous part of flour. It's really easy. You can just remove some of the spices. I think that recipe has paprika and cayenne. Take those out, make a simple, plain sort of seitan flavor. Maybe just have some onion powder, garlic powder, and you can use that as well if you really want to cook from scratch totally. But this is very easy. We've got things like cashews in there, some coconut yogurt and coconut cream, some tomatoes, loads of spices, and this one you will absolutely love. So let's get straight to it. We'll start by making our marinade. Just half a teaspoon each of turmeric, fenugreek leaves, ground coriander, and garam masala, and then a pinch of chili powder and a pinch of paprika. A thumb of ginger, and this is my classic hack for freezing and grating ginger instead of chopping it. 2 garlic cloves, a drizzle of oil, the juice of half a lemon, 100 grams of coconut yogurt, I'm using Cocoa Collab, and then season with salt and pepper. Add in about 600 grams of vegan chicken or 2 blocks of chopped tofu, and leave this to marinate for at least 1 hour or overnight. For our curry sauce, we'll blend a tin of chopped tomatoes along with 80 grams or half a cup of cashews. Look at how creamy that is. In our large pan, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of vegan butter. This is the brand I'm using. It's from Madeleine and it's their organic block. It's by far my favorite vegan butter. You can sub this for olive oil though. Along with a cinnamon stick, a couple of cloves, and a couple of cardamom pods. Heat this just for a few minutes and it should smell really fragrant and delicious. This is our lovely marinated chicken and I'm gonna add this in. This brand of vegan chicken is excellent. Look at how real that looks. That smell alone, wow. And we're gonna fry this for about 10 minutes until everything is nice and golden. It will depend on the type of vegan chicken you're using, how long it takes to cook, or if you're using tofu, just cook it until it starts to go a nice colour. Add a finely chopped green chilli and cook this in with the chicken. You don't have to add this much if you prefer a milder curry. And then pour over your tomato cashew mixture, along with a cup of water. You can use some of that water to get all the loveliness out of the blender. You can adjust and add more water if it needs it, and then cook this for around 5 to 10 minutes on a simmer. And the colour of this should turn gorgeous and orange. Now we can add in 100 ml of coconut cream and then half a teaspoon each of garam masala and fenugreek leaves. And then you can stir this through. Serve it up sprinkled with some coriander. I would recommend that you serve this up with naan and rice, of course. I'm just gonna eat it straight out the pan. Honestly, I just feel like if you get a good quality vegan alternative, you would not know the difference. Indian cooking is where it's at because so much of their cultural food is vegetarian and it's so full of flavour, there's so much variety. I will recommend a vegan cookbook for Indian food down below for you. But yeah, this feels like a takeaway. Like a posh one. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Nice and spicy too. If you don't like spice, leave the chili out. Then you'll still have all the flavour. So I hope you all enjoyed those comfort food recipes. Definitely give them a try, share them with your family and friends. Enjoy and savour food. Love it for what it is. It's something that makes our lives so much more pleasurable. Don't restrict yourself if you're vegan. Enjoy the comforts of life. All the recipes are, of course, in my cookbook, which you can buy. I'll link it down below. And I'm also doing a few events in the future. So I'm doing an event at Bedruthen Hotel and Spa in Newquay in March. I'll leave the information here and down below. I'm also doing an event in Penzance at the Edge of the World bookshop in February. So I'll leave that information here too and down below. So get tickets. I'd love to see you all there. It'll be an opportunity for us to chat, make friends, talk about the book, enjoy some food at the Bedruthen event. For the bookshop event, it's just an evening sort of Q&A vibe. But I would love to meet you. It means so much to me to have you following and to meet you in person. I will be so excited to see you there. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you want more like this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.